Hey everyone, it's Monica with KydzLydz, and today I am going to be showing you how to make a bifold wallet again. I've improved it, so here we go. For this you need your X-Acto blade, a metal ruler. If you don't have a metal ruler, obviously a regular plastic ruler will do, but this is much better. You can even see all the cuts and everything in it, so you don't want to be wrecking up your plastic ruler. Duct tape, for this I'm using penguin and purple. It's up to you what colors you want to use. And your ID plastic. Obviously you can't see that because it's clear. There, you can kind of see it now. So this is cut to the exact 3 3/4 of an inch by just over 2.5 inches. So for it you need 8 times 8-inch strips. These I've already cut everything. These two here are 3 3/4 inches, and I'm going to show you what to do with these. And then you need 6 pieces that are 3 3/4 of an inch of your inside color. And we're going to be making your pockets. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So you take your 2 pieces that are 3 3/4 of an inch, and you're going to lay it down on your cutting board. And this is basic, the same as that I did for the other one. You lay it down with 1/4 of an inch of the sticky showing. Press it down. And this time you're only going to flip one of the sticky parts down onto itself and leave the sticky part open. Okay? Now I'm going to show you what you do to border or brim your pockets. You're going to take your 3 3/4 of an inch of a piece, and you're going to cut it in half lengthwise. And then you're going to cut that half in half, and this half in half as well. So you're made 4 pieces. Okay? Now you're going to take your pockets, lay it down, and at the 1/4 of an inch mark, you're going to lay your piece of tape, and then fold the sticky part over to that side. That's how you brim your pocket. So you do that to all 3 of the pockets. I tried to cut corners and show you guys just the important steps. I mean, you know how to cut 8 pieces that are 8 inches long, and I will show you how to put the billfold together. Again, stick the sticky side over. And this is the last pocket, and then we're going to brim the ID. So I'm also showing you how to do the front of the wallet. I call it the sleeve. I don't know what you guys call it, or the cover, so that you don't have any sticky edges anywhere or open edges. It's all folded onto the inside. So there's your 3 pockets done. Okay? Now you're going to take your ID, lay it on one of the lines, and at the 1/4 of an inch mark, lay the brim down. I highly recommend getting a cutting board that has the 1/4 of an inch marked, only because it makes it so much easier to line everything up. And that's your brim lined up. Now this piece here is 3 3/4 of an inch, and you're going to cut it at the 1 1/4 inch mark lengthwise. You're going to use the littler piece to put at the bottom of the ID window. And you are not going to go up to the 1/4 of an inch mark because it's going to be covered. So you're going to put very, very little on there. It's only about 1/8 of an inch. Press it down, lift that up. So now there's everything that you're going to be sticking down as far as the pockets and the ID go. And lift this piece of tape up. That's going to be for the middle of the wallet. And now you need one more piece of purple, for me anyway, your inside color. And this is going to be 3 3/4 of an inch long as well. And this is to go underneath the ID window. And I'll show you why once we start assembling it. Okay, So now, what you do, your pieces that you cut earlier, you need only 1 of your pattern, and you need 7 of your inside color. Only that way you're not wasting your pattern color. So you put that down, and then you take your inside color. In my case, I said I'm using purple, and you lay it down so that there is a 1/2 inch of sticky. Press firmly. Each piece, just press firmly. I'm not going to keep saying that. So there you can see I've put it a 1/2 inch up, and now you're going to fold this piece up. So that's your pattern side, pattern tape, sorry, that you're sticking up. Okay? Now you're going to continue on, and now each piece for the wallet billfold is going to be the inside color. So this goes down at the 1 1/4 inch mark. Pick it up, flip it over. The next piece, sorry, trying to turn that corner up a little bit so it doesn't stick when I stick it down, is going to be at the 1 3/4 inch mark. And as I said in my other tutorial, it's very, very important, this next step, okay? Because you want the fold to be exactly at the 3 inch mark for this part here, because then it makes the wallet fold so much nicer, and you don't get any weird lumps and bumps in it, and creases. So there you go, that's at exactly 3 inches. And now what I do, I turn my cutting board around, and I take the last piece of tape for this side, and I lay it down at the 6 inch mark onto the rest of the pieces of tape. So that's that side finished. Now you pick it up, turn it over, lay it against the line again, and now this piece goes at 3 1/4 inches. Again, turn it the other way. And now this piece is going to be laid exactly on top of that piece so that there is no sticky showing whatsoever. Okay? And there is your billfold. So you have the bigger piece here, and then you have your 1/2 inch from here. It's up to you if you want to do that at a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch. I like 1/2 inch, so you can make your choice once you start making them. And now what I do is I just smooth it out, making sure there's no air bubbles in it. Sometimes you just get air bubbles. There's one there, so you just press it a little bit and it will come out. Alright, now we're going to start assembling. So you take your billfold and you fold it in half, and now what I do is I put it against one of the lines and you press firmly. So right now it's 3 by 8. It's off a little bit, just readjust it, press it again. Now you're going to take your piece that you had, that was 3 3/4 inch. You're going to lay it down on whatever side you want your ID window on. I do it on the left side. It's a 1/4 inch down, and then you just press it down. Now you take your ID window, line it up at the 1/4 inch mark, and stick it down. There's the sticky that you have, and you're just going to press that to the other side. Now you take your pockets. You want these to be lined up, and you want the first pocket to be low enough that it can fit a card in it without it peeking out the top. So I start them at a 1/2 inch down, press it down. The next one, I put it at about a 1/2 inch down from there. So it's at the 1 inch mark down from the top of the wallet. And the next one goes down again. And again, you have some left over at the bottom. That is just going to fold over to the other side. Okay, so this is what you have so far. Now that piece that you cut to stick down the ID window, it's for the middle of the wallet. So I line it up so that the pocket is at that part, and then I'm going to put this at a 1/4 inch over, and then that part is there. So It goes 1/4 of an inch down, and it is going to go over the top of the wallet by 1/2 inch. Press it firmly. Tuck that side in, and then this side gets tucked in or stuck down on the other side again. Press firmly. And that's what you have so far. Okay, so that part there is normal, don't worry. And all we're going to do now is make the front cover. So you take your pattern tape, and you need 3 pieces of 9 inches of tape. Sorry for the noise, but I wanted to save this part so that I could show you guys how to do it, because the penguins match up beautifully. So that is 9 inches right there. And again, the penguins match up exactly perfect, which is so awesome. That's why I decided to show you guys this way. And ta-da! They're matched up. So that was 3 pieces. And you want this piece of duct tape right here to be really stuck well, because when you lift it up, you do not want them coming apart. And what you're going to do right now is you're going to cut it at the 4-inch high mark. This is why I say you need your metal ruler, because believe me, when you're cutting this, it makes a huge difference. If you have a plastic ruler, you can cut away at it, and then eventually it's going to be uneven. So this is the only piece that you're going to discard. Now, when you're making the brims for your pockets, you can usually use this piece. That's usually what I do, because I make more than one at a time. So I'll use this for the next wallet kind of thing. Lift this piece up. Turn it sticky side up. Put your wallet right in the middle. Now, since this is 4 inches and your wallet is 3 inches long, and then it's 9 inches, or sorry, your wallet is 3 inches high. This is 9 inches long, and your wallet is 8 inches long, and it's 4 inches and 3 inches high as your wallet. So you want it to go 1/2 inch in and 1/2 inch up. Press it very firmly. Make sure there's no air bubbles coming in. And now what you're going to do is cut out on the bottom the 2 corners on the sides. And then for the top, you're not going to cut them out. You're just going to slit them up like that. So you're not doing this side. Again, just slit it up like so. Okay? And now you're going to fold this up. Press it down firmly. And then what I do is open this up, and I separate the part there that's cut. I fold this down. And I close it up. Even it out as much as you can. And I bring this piece up. Try not to press too hard on the parts where it's extra pieces of tape, because it will warp a little bit. And then I tuck that little piece in. Sorry, I was out of camera. I'll show you on the next one. So I just lift this piece up, wrapping it as tightly as you can. As you see there, I had to lift it back up and remove it. And then this is the little piece that's left. So what I do is I just open up the wallet like so, and I tuck that piece onto the inside. And there you go, folks. You've got a wallet, no fold over lines, pattern is matched up perfectly. Everything here is on the inside, so there's no sticky parts showing at all. because you've made a sleeve for it and everything is nice and smooth. And then all I do is, again, I kind of pull on stretch on it because then it loosens up the front cover, so that hopefully, doesn't always happen, but when you fold it, you won't get a buckle in it. See? Look at how nice and thin that is. There you go, folks. Hope you enjoy. If you make one, I would love to see your video response. Thanks for watching. Share your smile. Bye.